successfully add quotes to my essay. In this lesson, you will learn how to create a stronger connection between your claim and reasons by adding direct quotes from the text. Let's review our assignment. Direct quotes are a perfect way to build connections between your writing and the text you're responding to. We start by close reading and then drafting our essay. And we want to make sure that we go back and forth between the text and our writing to make sure to use relevant quotes to support our claim. So to create connections by adding quotes, first, reread your body paragraph asking, have I used direct quotes from the text to support this reason? Next, review the text to find the best supporting evidence. And finally, insert a direct quote followed by an explanation into the draft. To start this process, let's reread our second body paragraph while asking, have I used direct quotes from the text to support this reason? I see that I have one quote, which is great, but I think we can add another quote to make my writing much more connected to the scene where Natalie says goodbye to Ben. So let's review the text to find the best supporting evidence for this scene and this reason. To do this, ask, what is the best evidence to support my reason? In this scene, Natalie remains calm and sweet when Ben asks for a token to remember her by. In the past, Natalie has been awkward anytime the boys in her life even acknowledge that she is a girl and treat her differently because of it. This time we read, he bowed very seriously. Thank you. She bowed back. Welcome. So how does this evidence support my reason? Natalie's kindness and respect shows how much she's matured and how she's accepted the changes between her and the boys. Now let's insert the quote and explain how it supports our reason and our claim. Remember, after changing a draft, it's critical to reread that portion of your writing to make sure that everything flows well and makes sense. Natalie's changing relationships with the boys also works to develop this theme. Evidently, when they weren't being unfriendly, they could still somehow manage to make things awkward. Natalie is hurt by Alfred's new attitude, and these feelings come out when Natalie hits Alfred and Mike. She eventually finds the strength within herself to overcome this challenge as well. The challenges and awkwardness she faces are typical and relevant to a girl of Natalie's age, and her actions show this difficulty. When Natalie accepts a compliment from Ben and they exchange tokens to remember each other by, we see growth in Natalie. We read, he bowed very seriously. Thank you. She bowed back. Welcome. Natalie's kindness and respect shows how much she's matured and how she's accepted the changes between her and the boys. Natalie's growth supports the theme of coming of age and the difficulties of growing up.
Now, if you look at the beginning of that paragraph, where it says, evidently, even when they weren't being unfriendly, they could still somehow manage to make things awkward, that is a dropped quote. That's what we do not want to do. We don't want to just plop a quotation right into our paragraph without kind of giving some introduction that it's coming up next. In the orange highlighted part, the author writes, we read, or you could use something like it. In the text it says, or the author writes, and then put your little quote in there.
And I continued this same process with the rest of my paragraphs, and at this point I have a complete draft of my essay, including the introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and first, we reread the body paragraph asking, have I used direct quotes from the text to support this reason? Next, we reviewed the text to find the best supporting evidence. And finally, we inserted a direct quote followed by an explanation into the draft.